Welcome back. If you have young kids or grandkids, you know that their minds are growing every day, testing boundaries, searching the world to see how it works, much like little scientists conducting experiments. Dr. Stephanie Ryan from Ryan Education Consulting is joining us this morning with some tips on how we can really conduct some real experiments right at home. Good morning, Dr. Ryan.
Good morning.
Hey, I don't have any beakers or flasks or, things, scales. And do I need all these fancy chemicals and equipment to do these science experiments?
No, you really don't. Ideally, in a student's classroom, they would be able to have these tools. But we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so we need to work with what we've got. And what a lot of us have is just things around our house. So they're toys, are solids or liquids or gases, and you can talk about it in that way. You also have chemicals in your kitchen. Cooking is chemistry. So there is, you've got baking soda and vinegar. You can do so much with that. There's yeast and sugar that you can do reactions with, and you can melt crayons in your oven. There's just things around all about your house that you can demonstrate loads of concepts with.
Dr. Ryan, what if a parent or a grandparent is watching now saying, but I don't know the answers. I'm going to do these experiments, but I don't know the answers either.
That's totally fine. As a scientist, we don't always know the answers either. That's why we run experiments to find the answers and to help us explain what's happening. And so it's okay if you don't know the answer with your child. There are loads of websites and videos online. You can head to Instagram, for example, like my account is Let's Learn About Science. And there are a lot of YouTube channels that actually go through and show home experiments with the explanation for the parent. So there are two ways you can approach that. You could watch it with your child and learn at the same time, which might feel embarrassing to a parent to not know the answer, but it's really helpful to your child to know that grown-ups don't know all of the answers either, that you're always learning. And so learning something with your parent could be very valuable to help in their journey of learning.
Well, sometimes it's hard to get somebody or a child interested in something that doesn't kind of go along with something they're already interested in. Is there a way on your website that we can find ways to, like, I got a snowboarder or I got a rock hound? How can we find the way to get the science experiments into what they're already interested in?
That's a great question. So there are a lot of times when I'm planning my programming and content for my Instagram account that my son will look at me and he'll go, I don't want to do that today. And I'll be just like any parent, like, oh, okay, all right, what are we going to do? So then I ask him, what do you want to do today? And he'll tell me, like, I'm really interested in, let's say, bugs or snow or whatever. I guess bugs is a little difficult in Western Michigan right now, but the snow. So for snow, you could make snow ice cream outside. You could watch snow melt. You could paint with snow as it's melting. Snow is a great opportunity to talk about physical changes. You could put salt water outside and water and see which one freezes first and have your child design that experiment. What the greatest thing is, advice I have to parents, is that Google is your friend. You can look up STEM activities that have to do with, and then let's say you said snowboarding, it's what to do with snowboarding.
Sure.
And so you can find lots of things online that way. We don't have to reinvent the wheel as parents. Mm-hmm. A lot of content is out there, and there are people out there like me who help make content for that. So absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask questions and use the internet.
And RyanEducationConsulting.com is your website. And I love that you stress that it's okay to let them make mistakes. So you don't have to have all the answers. Everything doesn't have to run perfectly. As a matter of fact, sometimes that's beneficial.
Exactly, yeah. The way I like to explain that is thinking of when your child learns how to walk. When they stumble and fall, we don't say things like, oh, fail, you didn't do that right, or that's not how you do it. We should do the same with learning concepts. So if a student thinks that putting water in an oven will make an ice cube, let's test it. Instead of telling them, no, that's wrong. That shuts their thinking down, and it might turn them off to science because they feel like they're always wrong. But if science is a tool that helps us understand the world around us, then this is a great opportunity to learn from this. It's not even a failure. I don't want to use that word, but to learn from that failure, they are able to then say, okay, well, I know that hot things aren't snow or ice, so what could I do? And they can build their own experiment. Then that helps them ponder, and then they design an investigation themselves. So
That's
My
really
advice
hard.
to parents is they'll get there in the end. It will get fixed, this misconception they have. We just have to give them opportunities to help build that. And then they'll look at science like walking. It's just around the world around them.
Yeah, it's really hard sometimes to let them make their own mistakes and learn it. Even if you know the answer, let them get them there themselves, right?
I would say, as an author and a scientist, I struggle with this a lot with my own child. So I
Right.
know parents who are not in this field, they definitely struggle with it as well. So I just want parents to know that's absolutely normal.
All right, let's get people to your website. We can get some more fun science experiments and learn more about how you can do all this stuff at home with the stuff that you probably already have at home. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. And this is a great way, especially for those people, just those preschoolers, kindergarten, first graders. Boy, this is right in their wheelhouse, right? RyanEducationConsulting.com. Thank you for the time, Dr. Ryan.